President Muhammadu Buhari calls for ECOWAS commitment as AFCFTA begins January 2021. Federal government commences 30,000 naira grants for bike riders, taxi drivers, cart pushers and others. Nigerian government plans to borrow 17 trillion naira from pension fund. Plus, Asia-Pacific markets trade mixed despite improved sentiment over COVID-19 vaccine and U.S. stimulus hopes. The program is Business Express and it's reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Muplang Darkok. So good to know you're always tuned to Business Express. President Muhammadu Buhari has called for the commitment of member states of ECOWAS as the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement AFCFTA begins on January 1, 2021. The president made the call in a message to the 13th Extraordinary Summit of the African Union Assembly of Heads of State and Government. The president, who was represented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, said the successful commencement of the trade January 2021 is a fulfillment of the collective dreams of Africa's founding fathers. He added that any abuse of the rule could affect trade relations, cause disorder, regional and geopolitical tensions, and reduce economic growth, and pledged Nigeria's commitment in taking all the necessary steps towards the effective commencement of the trading on January 1, 2021. Meanwhile, the federal government at the weekend launched a transport track fund which seeks to give 30,000 naira grants to commercial drivers, including bus drivers, taxi drivers, motorcycle riders, popularly called Okada, and operators of ride-hailing cabs such as Bolt and Uber. The spokesman for the Vice President, Laole Akande, in a statement said the new initiative is a component of the Survival Fund, which is under the federal government's Economic Sustainability Plan, put in place to support small businesses and cushion the economic effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. He encouraged Nigerians to apply for the grants through their registered associations such as the Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, Keke Riders Association, Okada Riders Association, and unions. The MSME Survival Fund, a component of the Nigerian Economic Sustainability Plan, is designed to support vulnerable micro, small, and medium enterprises in meeting their payroll obligations and safeguard jobs in the MSME's sector. The MSME scheme is estimated to save not less than 1.3 million jobs across the country and specifically impact on over 35,000 individuals per state. The 2020 annual Zuma Film Festival ended with major players in the creative and entertainment industry discussing the opportunities, challenges, and proffering solutions as it affects the industry. The 11th edition of the festival had 3,068 submissions from 120 countries, higher than that of 2019. With Nigeria on a steady journey to greater heights, there is optimism that the festival in 2020 has opened another uncommon opportunity and growth for the Nigerian film industry.
There was tremendous improvement in the quality because adoptive processes of excellence had been integrated in the production, and I think I will be very happy to say that there was improvement.
Although the 2020 Zuma Film Festival may have come and gone, the creative industry still remains. To discuss harnessing the potential of Nigeria's creative industry, the issues, prospects, and policy implications is the Chairperson Association of Movie Producers FCT Chapter, Imabong Abia. Thank you so much for coming on Business Express today.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's talk about the Zuma Film Festival. How has it fared over the years?
Well, I should say it has the platform of bringing foreign counterparts to interact and synergize with the filmmaking here filmmakers here in Nigeria for their challenges and the future, how they can move on in future.
Okay.
Yes.
So the IMF said that Nigeria alone accounts for almost 1.4% of GDP. The industry, talking about the industry, accounting for 1.4% of GDP and creating jobs worth $7 billion. And it also employs about 1 million people. What is the situation? Is it still doing that, or right now the figures have increased?
It has actually increased.
Okay.
Like what we have now is about 4.5 GDP, and we employed over 2.5 to 3 million people.
Okay.
And to start with, we do a lot of stuff. It have a greater impact on Nigerian economy.
Okay. Okay, looking at the film industry, which of course comprises of the theater, dance, music, and a whole lot of others, what's the idea that it can do for the industry?
The economy?
Yes, for the industry and Nigeria's economy.
Great question. Anyway, if Nollywood alone can have 2.5, 4.5 GDP, you can adding other platform, entertainment platform, which is about 1.5 GDP. That is about adding other platform GDP. It comes out to 7% GDP, and that cover about 7 employee of. That cover about 7%, and it cover about 4 million people that are being employed. You can know that what that means to Nigerian economy. Of course, Nollywood is highest employer of labor apart from agriculture.
Okay.
And you know what, next to oil when it comes to financing, you know what that means.
Okay. So what is your association doing to help to achieve the potential, the complete potential of the industry?
Right now, what we are doing, we're trying to introduce we're engaged in capacity building training to train our member in modern trend of filmmaking for them to know more on film. And also, we also create, the most important thing is marketing.
Okay.
We're also trying to create digital marketing to assist our member.
Okay. How would you, of course you're a Nigerian, so definitely, but how is competition between Nigeria and other film industries in Africa? How would you rate Nigeria?
Nigeria is second largest in quantity in the world.
Okay.
So we are really going places.
Okay.
Right now, you can see they even nominate, we're even submitting our movies to Oscar Award, which is the highest award in the world.
Okay. Let's talk about the impact of the pandemic on your industry, because it has not left any industry. It has affected, almost every facet of the economy. So what has the impact been on the filmmaking industry?
Well, when that COVID-19 spark into Nollywood, it was actually, it brings Nollywood to a standstill.
Okay.
It affected so many loss. It's affected Nollywood greatly. And in fact, so many people in the process of shooting film, in the process preparing to shoot, the ones that are about to pay, and it stopped them at the middle. So it was so bad, it was so appalling. It really affected us.
Okay. in the impact of the COVID-19, many industries, many people, many small-scale businesses went into digital platforms. You've talked about digital platforms. How has technology helped your industry?
Especially during this COVID-19.
During the COVID-19, yes.
Well, it really assisted the industry because we went into shooting short film, sending it to Twitter, and we send it to Facebook, YouTube channel, other online television. We send it online, and honestly, it was an eye-opener for a lot of us that there could be another thing that we can fall on, and that was the only thing that we fall on, and that makes relevancy to us.
Okay. Piracy has been a challenge for the film industry. How have you been able to tackle that problem? Your association and the film industry as a whole, how have you helped to tackle this issue?
Anyway, that is a question I don't actually really want to dabble into it.
Okay.
But I want you to know that the piracy has really eaten deep into our product, into Nigerian filmmakers. Why? Because we actually have a copyright law, which is a very strong one in this country. It's one of the best. And but the challenge we have is that the implementation is a bit slow, which I think government is trying to do something, put things in place to push it up. And that is what we are even trying to do inwardly by bringing up this digital marketing to assist us. Because when we open up a lot of channel, I think there will be a little lean of this piracy.
Okay. And when you talk about the film industry in Nigeria, the first place of thoughts will be Lagos. Many people think that Lagos is the hub of the film industry. What have you been doing in Abuja? How is the situation like?
Oh, you need to know that so many people, of course, Abuja is a federal territory, capital territory. So many filmmakers are actually, as I'm talking to you, there's so many locations, so many shooting in many places in Abuja. Okay. So many people have relocated to Abuja to make it happen in Abuja. So Lagos is not only the sole place that are making films. They make films in Asaba, they make film in Enugu, they make film in all over Kano, Abuja. We are making a lot of films here in Abuja.
All right. Let's project into 2021. The year 2020 is already coming to an end. So hopefully we hope that with the announcement of a vaccine, there's hope that the coronavirus will be, brought to a halt in 2021. What do you see happening to the film industry in the year 2021?
As you can see, we are going places.
Okay.
And so what will happen to Nollywood in 2021 will be more than what had been happened before.
Okay.
So we are going to do more things in marketing. We're going to expand our channels in marketing. We're going to bring in more innovation in Nollywood, talking about capacity building, training for our members. And so, honestly, we are really competing with the foreign counterpart. I must tell you that. And so you know what will happen next year.
All right. So you said the IMF projection of 1.4% contribution to GDP has risen to about 4.5%, you said?
Yes.
What do you see happening in 2021? My last question.
In fact, I feel that it will even reach by like 6 points.
Okay.
Yes, 6 points, because we are actually going places.
All right, let's hope that the film industry actually goes places, because we need all the revenue and the resources.
And I just want to plead with our government to also assist the Nollywood, the entertainment industry, because what we are actually facing is the financing, and that's what, because this COVID-19 really affected us, and so we plead with our government to look into that in that perspective, to assist us financially, and with that, you know what that means, where we will get to.
I agree with you that with financing for the industry, because there has been financing for for MSMEs,
A lot,
for
you know,
transport
youths,
sector, for the youths, and so on.
So we are pleading
so I'm
for
sure
them to come
yours
to
is
our
going to
head.
be the next.
Oh,
by
thank
the
you
grace
very
of
much.
God.
I hope so.
We've been speaking to the chairperson Association of Movie Producers of the FCT chapter, Imabong Abia. Thank you so much for your time.
It's my pleasure.
All right. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has advised Nigerians to moderate their insatiable taste for consumption of foreign goods to stabilize the nation's economy. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, gave the advice during a one-day interactive engagement session with stakeholders on the 5-year policy thrust of the CBN in Kaduna, while recalling that in the 70s, the country invested in agriculture, production of some basic items to cater for its needs, and export of locally produced goods to strengthen its currency and the economy. The CBN governor added that the most lasting and sustainable measure to grow the nation's economy fast is by producing what we eat in the country. The dollar started the week on the back foot on Monday after soft U.S. jobs data only solidified expectations of a fresh economic package. Let's now see how the Naira is exchanging for other international currencies. Project Serap has urged President Muhammadu Buhari to instruct the National Pension Commission to stop state governors from borrowing 17 trillion naira from pension funds. A letter dated December 5, 2020 and signed by Serap's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare urged President Muhammadu Buhari that the approval of the governor's request will be detrimental to the fund's beneficiaries due to corruption and transparency deficit in several states. Serap says it is contrary to the Nigerian Constitution, the Pension Reform Act, and the international anti-corruption and human rights obligations for federal and state governments to use pension funds as escape routes from years of mismanagement. The governors had earlier said the money would be used for infrastructural development. And the federal government is to develop a strategy towards boosting production and export of gum arabic for more revenue generation. This, the government says, is part of the post-COVID-19 economic diversification strategy.
Between 2004 and 2014, Nigeria was earning, on the average, $92 million from the export of gum arabic. But now, from 2014 to now, Nigeria is now earning less than $3 million per annum from gum arabic.
Nigeria exports over 95% of its gum arabic in raw form to Europe, Asia, and United States of America. Only 5% is utilized locally. Not processing this commodity locally before export is causing Nigeria huge losses in form of revenue and employment opportunities.
And then it's also economical in planting it because it does not require a lot of water, so it doesn't need a much tendering before it grows and it starts fruiting.
And on the commodity market, gold prices were little change in early trade this Monday as hopes of a U.S. Fiscal stimulus package being passed this week countered downward pressure from optimism around COVID-19 vaccine rollouts. Here's a graphic illustration of the commodity market as compiled by Olainka Ojo. Trading ended on a positive note on the Nigerian Stock Exchange as it inched up by 0.72% last week. Bosede Abel has a summary of market activities.
The NSE All-Share Index for week ended 4th December and market capitalization appreciated by 0.72% and 0.75% to close the week at 35,137.99 and 18.3 trillion naira. However, all other indices finished lower with the exception of NSE Mainboard, NSE Insurance, NSE ASEM and NSE Oil and Gas, which appreciated at a turnover of 1.6 billion shares worth 25.4 billion naira. In 23,650 deals were traded in the week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry led the activity chart with 1.2 billion shares valued at 12 billion naira. Traded in 13,534 deals. It was followed by the consumer goods industry with 102.3 million shares worth 3.6 billion naira in 3,511 deals. The third place was natural resources industry with a turnover of 86.6 million shares worth 17.4 million naira. The top three equities were Access Bank, FBN Holdings and Zenith Bank. They jointly accounted for 475.8 million shares worth 6.1 billion naira in 4,900 deals. A total of 543,655 units of exchange-traded products, ETPs, valued at 4.6 billion naira were traded in the week in 36 deals, as well as a total of 3,198 units of federal government bonds, valued at 3.8 million naira were traded in 10 deals. Summary of price changes showed 22 equities appreciated in price during the week, 45 equities depreciated in price, while 94 equities remained unchanged. Bosede Abel, Business Express.
And on the global scene, Asian markets lost steam mid-morning on Monday. Bosede Abel again reports.
The UK and EU are making last effort to reach a post-Brexit trade deal this week, with Britain's chief negotiator going to Brussels on Sunday in a bid to salvage talks that had to be paused on Friday due to outstanding issues that remain to be resolved, including fishing rights and competition rules. European stocks traded mixed in early Monday trade as market focus in the region centers on a least-ditch effort between the UK and EU to reach a post-Brexit trade deal. In Asia Pacific, markets lost steam in early trading with Hong Kong shares down more than 2%. That was despite improved sentiment around coronavirus vaccine rollouts and US stimulus hopes, which fueled a record-setting session Friday on Wall Street. Nikkei declined 0.76% to 26,547.44. Shanghai Composite declined 0.81% to 3,416.6, while the Hang Seng Index also fell 1.23% in late afternoon trade. U.S. stock futures were little changed on Sunday night following a record-setting session as Wall Street searched for clues on additional fiscal aid. It was mixed territory for Africa stocks, with Nairobi's All-Share and Tunisia's Tunidex posting gains, while Ghana's GSE Composite was marginal. Bosede Abel, Business Express.
And with the global market update, we wrap up this edition of Business Express. Be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on NTS channel. You can also communicate with us on Twitter. The handle is at NTN News Now. The hashtag is BizX. Business Express returns Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. I am Muplang Dakok saying keep thinking and doing business.